it just look at that. It just breaks away. Look, just. Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Alex TV, where flavor meets soul. My name is Annie B, and in today's video, we have two things going on. One, we're making delicious Jamaican curry oxtails. I know you saw the intro, I know you read the caption. That's what we'll be making today with a side of white rice and callaloo. Callaloo, if you don't know, is a vegetable often used in Jamaica and Africa. All right, and then two, we have a topic. We'll be talking about jealous and spiteful girlfriends. Okay, girlfriends, it's friends. Girls that are your friends and women are friends. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. It's going to be a good conversation, good food. If you like good food, a good conversation, I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for staying throughout the whole video. Yes, I do. All right, so grab a seat at the table, because around here, we go beyond the plate. Okay, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in today. I pray that you all are having a blessed day so far. Now let's get into these oxtails. Oh, let me show you really quickly how I cleaned my oxtails. I'm gonna add some vinegar. Just give that a rub in the vinegar water, like so. You can also use lime or lemon, whatever it is that you want to use. After you clean it, you're gonna drain the water. And then we have our cleaned oxtail. They're nice and clean. And now all we're gonna do is add our spices and things. We're gonna actually let this marinate for about 2 hours. While it's marinating and all the seasonings and the goodness of the goodness of the goodness, I'm gonna make white rice. That way that's done and out the way. And then we'll get into the oxtail. All right, so I have some salt. I have some ground allspice. Y'all, I love oxtail. It's gonna be tender, delicious flavor, and I love curry, especially I love curry with my white rice. It's a classic for me, curry with white rice. Oh, shout out to At Home with Lisa, because that is who suggested or requested that I make curry oxtails. I will leave her link down, or add her or tag her down in the description box below, so you guys can check out her content. She does interior design, and she's absolutely amazing at it, and she has been just a very great support for this channel. Ground ginger. Then this is my seasoning salt that I like to use. If you've been keeping up with my videos, it's not too salty, but it has like the perfect amount of salt and herbs and things in there. Black pepper. Let me know if you checked out the previous video that was posted, the Chinese 5-spice New York strip steak with Jamaican pepper and shrimp. I love doing like fusion, bringing things together, you know what I'm saying? Today's meal will just be Jamaican though. All right, and then I have some garlic powder. I added onion powder. I'm adding some garlic powder. And then once we get everything on here and we start mixing up the seasonings, we'll get into the topic. It's gonna be a quick topic today, but you know I like to chit chat. All right, and then this is the curry powder, the Jamaican curry powder that I'm using. You can also use Blue Mountain curry powder, which is another curry powder that I like. This is the one we're using today. All right. Keep in mind you can add more curry later on as well. All right, I'm gonna give that a mix, and let's get into this topic. So there was a video that went around, a viral video, I believe it was on TikTok, and it was about this female rapper who was going out with her friend. Okay, she's a famous rapper in her hometown. She's going out with a friend for her friend's birthday party, or birthday dinner rather. And so the video is of them in the car, and the friend whose birthday it is upset that her rapper friend, she feels like, was trying to outdo her with her outfit. Okay, she said, "I'm the birthday girl," and I'm this is not verbatim, but she's basically letting her know that I'm the birthday girl. How dare you come out in these little shorts, in this outfit, and you know that your body is more shapely than mine. You know, I feel like you're trying to outdo me for my birthday and things of that nature is what she was saying. And then she also mentioned how whenever they go out, all eyes are usually on her. So she just wanted her birthday to be just about her. And then she also says, and you knew my boyfriend was coming. You knew my man was coming. I don't want him looking at you. Wow. Okay. Now, you know, when I do these videos, it'll always be about women will be at the center of these discussions. Okay, my audience is women, and I want us to realize that as women, it is okay for us to hold not just ourselves accountable, but also other women accountable. It is okay for us to do that as long as we're being respectful. There's certain communication things that I like, right? So if I'm going to discuss something, in order for it not to be just a gossip channel, which is not something that I want, I have to show compassion. I have to also be relatable in the sense that how do I relate to this topic? So I'm always going to choose topics that I myself have related to, something that I've noticed in myself. That way it is not just me coming off like I'm sitting in this righteous bubble. That's not what we want. But we should feel comfortable holding each other accountable and speaking our minds without feeling too afraid to offend people. I used to be like that, and I wanted to speak on things. I'm very opinionated. I need to speak my mind. It feels good to me. And I want you all to do the same as long as it's respectful. Right? So, with that being said, there were certain things that I noticed that in the past I peeped for myself. For example, like say for instance, my sister and I, we're gonna go to the store. And I'm like, why are you all dressed up? We're only going to the corner store. Why you dressed up? I wasn't really concerned with the fact that she was dressed up. I was more concerned with me feeling small around her if I don't dress up. So it's not like I was trying to harm her or anything like that, but I was showing my insecurity. Why are you concerned with what somebody else got on? Let them be. If she want to dress up and go to the corner store, let her do that. But sometimes we as women, or just people in general, but I'm talking to my ladies, sometimes we try to control our environment so that we can feel the most comfortable and the most secure. And honestly, you can't control your environment. Your security has to come from you. All right? And that's what that girl was trying to do. She was trying to control. She also had a dress code for her friends. So she was trying to control her environment so that she felt like, well, I'm the princess of the night. It's my birthday. I'm controlling the environment so that I feel comfortable and secure. And you can't do that. That security and confidence has to come from within. And if you're trying to control everyone around you so that you feel good about yourself, you're never going to feel good about yourself. And that's what she was trying to do. But there's a few things to mention about these friends, right? So one friend was jealous, but the other friend, the rapper friend, in my opinion, was spiteful. In the sense that the friend or the birthday girl already let everyone know that there was a dress code. And she also let her friend know that her man was coming. And it was only after she let her know that her man was coming that she changed her outfit into something more revealing with her breast, you could see her breast more. She showed more cleavage and she put on some really short shorts. And so you have to think about that. Why, after I said to you that my man will be here, why is it then you change your outfit to something more skimpy? You got to pay attention to your friends. Both of them have insecurities and it's coming out in the friendship. You got to choose your friends wisely.
Hello, good morning.
She just act like she a ghost. Like we can't see her step into the camera. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's Mama Madness, you guys. My beautiful mama. All right. And yeah, you have to choose your friends wisely because some people are too insecure to be around people who they think have more potential or look better than them. And I've been in that situation where people were jealous of me, not because of anything I was doing, but because of the light that they felt like I exuded. Got to be careful with them people. They don't celebrate you. You have good things going on, they're quiet. They don't say a thing. You start a new business, they're quiet. Birds chirping, no nothing. You hear crickets, okay? If you even hear crickets, okay? All right, so now we have the seasoning on here. All right, so now we're gonna chop up our onion, our scallion. We're gonna add some thyme and minced garlic to our oxtails. I'm gonna go ahead and get that cut up and I'll be right back. All right, so now we're gonna add some sprigs of thyme. So I have my onion, my scallion. I have 1 whole onion, 2 stalks of scallion, a bunch of sprigs of thyme, and then we're gonna add some garlic. You really have to be careful in paying attention to those red flags when it comes to your friends. I felt like these two girls are not really friends. I don't know if they're trauma bonding or what have you, but it doesn't feel like a genuine friendship. Mind you, the rapper friend, she's recording this while her friend is having a meltdown. She's recording it and then posts it when she gets home on TikTok. That's so no matter which way you want to look at it, no matter if you want to focus on the birthday girl, insecure. If you want to focus on the other one, both of them are insecure. One is jealous of the other one because she feels like she gets a lot of attention and she tries to control her environment so that she can be the center of attention. And I'm not judging her, because I have been there. May not have been the same details, I haven't probably did it in that way, but I did it in other ways. And I get it, when you want to be center of attention. And honestly, I wasn't even aware that I was jealous. I wasn't aware that I was experiencing jealousy whenever other people were getting attention. Somebody laughed too hard at somebody else joke, I was like, excuse me? Or when somebody else got a compliment, I would feel slighted. You have to pay attention to yourself. Why? Why do you feel like you need to be the center of everything? That's a lot of attention. Allow other people to be complimented. Allow yourself to be happy for other people. Now, that's one thing. I'm always able to be happy for other people, but there was something going on inside of me that I wasn't aware of. If you need to talk to God about it, you need to read your Bible, because then you'll understand that you shouldn't be center of attention all the time or want to be center of attention. All right, so like I said, onion, scallion, thyme, minced garlic. Gonna give this a mix. I'm going to go ahead and cut up the other vegetables that'll be going in here, which is, I'm going to be cooking it down with potato, and I will get into that, all right? Let me not make this video longer than it needs to be. And yeah, we're just going to get the ball rolling, okay? All right, be right back. All right, let's get into this rice. You guys like my chef coat? I love this, or chef jacket. I love this chef. Relax. I love this chef jacket. I think it's so cute. Lexi got it for me for Christmas. Last Christmas or 2 Christmases ago? Yeah, 2 Christmases ago. All right, let's get into this rice. Once you become more aware of yourself and how you're reacting to things, and you start tapping into how you really feel in certain situations, not only can you begin to change certain characteristics that are not beneficial to you and others, but then you can peep it in other people. And I don't know if God gave me like this gift of being able to spot my flaws honestly. And like I said in previous videos, it hurts when you realize things about yourself that you don't necessarily like. But then you give yourself the opportunity to allow God to mold you and shape your character. And that is just the truth. All right. And you have to learn to catch yourself in these moments. When you're feeling jealous, do you know what I do when I feel like I'm feeling jealous? I'll compliment you. That way it kind of breaks the jealousy from me, right? If I see somebody in their hair look really nice, I'm like, damn, my joint looking crusty. I haven't done it in 2 weeks. Mind you, my jealousy isn't about wanting what the person has. There's different levels to jealousy and envy, right? Some people want what you have. Some people just want better for themselves, right? I was that. I want better for myself. I want to feel fine in my skin and all this other stuff. I will compliment you. That way I'm not allowing the evil one to corrupt my mind, right? Because that's what's happening. Your mind is being corrupted by jealousy and envy. You are enough. And you have to understand that you are enough. And it's something you have to remind yourself every single day if you are someone who has insecurity problems. All right? Let's get this rice in here. All right. Now I'm going to, to my rice, add some scallion. All my vegetables are already washed before I get on camera. Wash your vegetables. All right. Scallion, I'm going to also add a Scotch bonnet. I'm not going to cut the Scotch bonnet. I'm just going to add it in there like so. You don't want your mouth on fire eating rice, okay? And I'm going to add that, put that on the stove. I'm going to also add some salt. And that's the rice. Okay? Gonna let that come to a boil. Also, I use like the fingertip rule. So I add enough water that it gets to the first line of my pointer finger. Let it come to a boil. Once most of the water's dried out, I cover it with foil, cover it with the top, and let that cook for 20 minutes on low heat. You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Pot on medium high heat. I'm gonna go ahead and add some oil, because first what we're going to do is we're going to brown our oxtail. All right, so I had my oxtails marinating like so, and now we're gonna do this in batches. So you just be sure to take the excess scallions and stuff off for the browning process. Okay. So let me know down in the comments what you think about this topic. Have you ever found yourself being the person that was jealous? How do you handle jealousy? For me, like I said, I compliment or I allow that jealousy feeling to manifest into me being inspired. Well, what is it that I'm feeling jealous about? And then I try to understand what the issue is within myself, and then I correct it within myself. Or I do my best to. Sometimes it takes more time. But let me know down in the comments. Be honest, be transparent. And then also let me know if you've experienced jealous friends. I've definitely have experienced jealous friends. See that it browns nicely. The oxtails have been nicely browned. It's very aromatic. It smells so good. So now we're gonna get that back into the pot. So remember, this is what we had the oxtail marinating in. We're gonna add that back to the pot. I have some Scotch bonnet pepper here. I'm gonna add that. I added 2. You don't need to add that if you do not like spicy food. I love the spice. So then we're going to go in with some beef broth. You do not have to add beef broth if you don't want to. You can simply add water if that is what you have available. And you're going to add just enough broth or water and water to cover your oxtail. All right, that's perfect. Now we're going to bring this to a boil. And once this comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down on low and let it do its thing for 1.5 hours. All right, so now you turn it down on low. And we're going to let this simmer for, like I said, for 1.5 hours. All right, so now we are going to get this callaloo, sauteed callaloo done. Adding in some onions. All right, so we have our onions. They're getting a little translucent there, which is perfect enough for me. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, some tomato, along with my hot pepper, which is my Scotch bonnet or habanero. Those are very closely related, the Scotch bonnet and habanero. And callaloo, if you're wondering, it's like a cross between spinach and collard greens. It's so good. It's super good. This is the brand that we get at ShopRite. See, Jamaican spinach, it says on there. I didn't repeat that it says that. But like I said, it's a cross between spinach and collard greens. It's delicious. It has a very nice taste to it. Garlic. I do love garlic in my food. I'm a huge fan of garlic. Let me know down in the comments if you are a huge fan of garlic. There's so much in there too. I'm just gonna give that a good mix, and I'm gonna add a few seasonings as well. Some seasoning salt, black pepper, allspice, and a little bit of ground ginger. Gonna give that a good mix, and then we're gonna just let this sit so the flavors come. Ooh, the smell is so, I love the smell of these seasonings. Especially when you saute just peppers and onions, it already just has the whole house smelling so aromatic just from that. And then when you add your seasonings, everything just comes to life. The sauteed callaloo with peppers, onions, garlic, and Scotch bonnet pepper is all done. Yum. All right, you guys, I brought the oxtail back to a boil. And so what I like to do with my potato, when I prep it ahead of time, I put it in cold water so that the color does not change. Right, if you cut your potatoes ahead of time and you let them sit, they'll oxidize and they'll start turning brown. All right, so I'm gonna pour this water out and get that in the pot. All right, so I'm gonna give that a little mixy mix. All right, here I have my tomato and garlic. Give that a mix. And I'm actually gonna leave this on medium, cover it up for another 1.5 hours. I'm gonna check it here and there just to make sure the sauce is thickening up the way I like. And in the case that I have to add more water, I will. All right, let's cover her up. I have a beef Maggi cube here. I actually meant to add that in earlier and forgot. Ooh. Oh man, it's looking fabulous. The sauce looks really good. I just gotta check for meat tenderness. I'm gonna add a little bit of coconut milk in here. I'm gonna add the butter beans and let it cook for like an additional 20 minutes. So we're adding a little bit of coconut milk, and that's gonna give it a nice creamy texture. Not too much, but just enough that you can taste the slight sweetness from the coconut. There we go. All right, add in the butter beans. Let's check out the finality. See what the goings on is going on. But it looks so good. Oh, you could tell it's tender. You can tell. You can just tell.
Just me and you. Sandy beaches, waves so high. Summer love, let's touch the sky. Dance, dance in the summer heat. Feel the rhythm, move your feet. Sun and sand is so sweet. Summer days can't be beat. Palm trees swaying, breeze so light. Party all day.
All right, I am serving Thyme's sister today, just so she can show her face, so you can understand where the Lex comes from again, Lex TV, in case you're new to the channel. Okay. Ooh, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I'm gonna end up eating this real quick.
Curry Oxtail, Jamaican Curry Oxtail, white rice with callaloo.
Oh, this is good. This is excellent.
If it's Scotch, why is Scotch when they go downstairs?
You go downstairs.
Me?
You and Kaden.
Whoa, I'm not a cat. Ew, I'm coming on out.
The combination of the callaloo and the flavor of the oxtail
Ew, what's that?
is dangerous.
What?
All right, you guys. So this is the next day, and I have to come back on camera so that I can show you guys me tasting this delicious, delicious Jamaican curry oxtail. And the meat, so, do you see how tender that is? It just look at that. It just breaks away. Look, just. Y'all, this flavor. So you get some of that rice. Some callaloo. Butterbean and rice. I'm gonna have to put this up with my hands. When I say this is slamming, this is a recipe y'all can't play with. Y'all gotta try this recipe because it'll make no sense to taste this good. Okay? Thank you all for tuning in. God bless and peace.